Whoa, it's the Illusion reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth. As usual, I'm coming from the Venice Skate Park. All right, I wanted to talk about something that's just, I finally have to chime in on this nonsense. It's this gun control nonsense. I want to know why no one's talking about the pills all these people are on. That's what I want to know. Before you start taking away guns from people that are sane, why don't we stop giving these pills to people that are known to have people go into violent fits of rage, commit suicide, and basically hallucinate, right? Like the pharmaceutical industry is handing out these pills that are known to cause people to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. All right? And if you look at every one of these shooters, they're all on the crazy meds. It's the crazy meds. And they would do the same thing with a nail gun. I mean, a baseball bat, whatever. We're not even going to go the guns because everybody's totally polarized on that, which is exactly, by the way, what they want you to be, is to live in fear. I'm not in fear. I'm not afraid of anybody anywhere shooting me with a gun. I have no problem with people owning guns. In fact, I hang with a lot of people that own machine guns or assault rifles or whatever you do, and they're perfectly safe people. I'm not afraid of guns. If anything, and I'm not afraid of our federal government, but those are the ones that you should be watching. We have a government run by the military-industrial complex and the banking cartel. Come on, people. Really? You're gonna give your guns away while your government is one of the most armed to the teeth governments of all time? Look, I'll do this. I'll meet everyone in the middle halfway. We should give up our guns after the government gives up their guns. When the United States government is willing to give up their guns, we'll give up our guns. That's a fair deal, man. Because you have a government that passed the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, which allows the government to round up any American and hold them indefinitely. That sounds kind of creepy to me. Then again, I'm not living in fear because I'm a Beamalite, so whatever the government's doing, I don't really care either. But those of you guys who haven't vibrated through all this, you might want to hang on to your guns. And those of you guys who are afraid of guns, maybe go down to the shooting range and take some gun lessons. That's me with the guns. But I also want to talk about, if you're really concerned about what's going on with our children, what's up with all the first-person shooter games? What's up with that? You're going to ban guns, but you're going to let your kids play video games with excessive ultra-violence on them, with full gun violence? That doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. No one seems to be putting the pieces together. It's not the guns. It's the drugs. It's the movies. It's the video games that are totally saturating the generations below me with ultra violence, man. What happened? What happened to going and hiking and playing with balls? Even though I'm not into like balls and nets, still it's better than playing video games. Get off the video games. Get off the drugs. All right, and the final thing is this. What's up with the movies? I went and saw that stupid Django movie, the latest Quentin Tarantino bloodbath. Dude, the audience was mostly young people, and that film had nothing but killing. Heads exploding, blood everywhere. What's up with that? What happened to a good old-fashioned Star Wars? What's with promoting absolute violence in our society and then living in fear of guns? Maybe we're doing it backwards. Maybe we need to take the fear-based stimulus out of our society and leave the guns. Because the way I'm looking at it is I need to have a gun to protect me from these crazy people that are watching video games and taking crazy pills, right? It's insane. And then, all right, if you notice this, all the people that are lobbying against guns are people that own guns, by the way. Dianne Feinstein has armed bodyguards and a concealed weapons permit. All those Hollywood movie stars that are saying, oh, we need to take the guns away, they're the ones participating in filming the ultra-violent gun death movies. You know, that's why I don't even go to the movies anymore or watch any movies anymore. It's just gratuitous violence, man. And we wonder why people are snapping and going crazy and blowing each other away. It's not the guns, it's the movies. It's the TV shows. Like that stupid, I don't even watch TV because it's so hideously violent. Now you're talking to a person, I'm like common law guy. Do no harm. Dude, and that's what it is. That's what the gun owners are all about. It's like, leave them alone. They're not doing anyone any harm. There were so many people that owned guns in this country that if guns were the real problem, we would all be dead by now. We would all have been shot. But alas, that is not the case. So, gosh, I got one more note on this too. History. History is questionable on its base because history is written by the winners and the oppressed don't get to write the history books. But let's just say the winners have been writing all the history books. All their history books say that every government that's ever been has turned into a totalitarian state that kills its own citizens. Me, like I said, I'm not worried about this nonsense. I'm just gonna go skateboard and surf and vibrate at a higher frequency. But I also realize on the form level that you aren't paying attention if you're buying into this right-left gun paradigm. You gotta go down the middle. Because the ones who are telling you to take your guns are the ones that are the tyrannical government. I just want to throw out this factoid here at the end. There's this term called democide. You can look it up yourself, democide. And what democide means is governments killing their own population. And if you look at our last century, this is for non-military people. Democide, death by government, killed over 250 million people. So ask yourself, who should you be afraid of? The person that's not, that none, dude, I don't know anyone around who's coming after me with a gun. Or the crazy government that everywhere I look has machine guns, dude. If you watch the news enough, you'll see the cops are the ones that are beating up mentally retarded people, tasering old people in their wheelchairs, shooting people as they raid their houses with wrong addresses. It's not citizens, it's the government. But alas, you have to govern yourself. That's what this is all about. That's why this is such a fear-based argument. That's why gun owners are people that are basically willing to govern themselves. They don't need the government. I don't need the government except to put lines on the road. Again, that's all I want my government to do for me, is make sure the roads are safe and stop bombing and killing innocent children around the planet. You know, that's the one thing, you know, that traitor that's running this country, Barry Soetoro, also known as Barack Obama, does he cry? Does he ever cry when on Tuesdays is the day he signs the drone strike death orders? Does he cry on Tuesdays when those drone strikes kill innocent women and children? No, he doesn't, because he's a charlatan. He's a liar, and he's totally taking you down the wrong path. But hey, don't listen to me, man. I don't really care either way. All I know is history says you give up your guns, the government will kill you. Okay? Just that's the end of the story, man. I had to chime in on that one. That's my take on that whole thing. I got one more thing. People keep going off about the Founding Fathers being a bunch of fat white guys. Look, the Founding Fathers were dudes that were caught in their paradigm of space and time and history, and they wrote a piece of paper that was all about liberating people in the future. That's why the Constitution and the Bill of Rights are sacrosanct in our country, because the Founding Fathers knew that those rights were not given by them, the Founding Fathers. Those rights were granted by a power greater than ourselves. Some will call God. Just call it a power greater than ourselves. Source energy, the inalienable rights. So when you start saying that, oh, the Founding Fathers were a bunch of racists, those dudes were able to see far enough outside their own existence in time and space and realize that the time and space they were living in, they could only do so much to correct the injustices of their time and space, and that they gave us the documents to correct the errors of our society. And that, my friends, is why we can never, ever, 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 ever surrender the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, man. Because if we do that, we will find ourselves back at square one, and square one is under the thumb of a repressive regime. Anyway, man, that's enough of the low-frequency babble about guns and violence and the whole thing. Just, come on, man. Just stop living in that scary world.